To make a bunch of room on my phone, so I'm not even in the same frame of mind that I was in. But what I was saying is the Leo King, I call him Leo, he says that these heavy energies are not going to go away anytime soon. It's learning to navigate and deal with them that is the thing. So that's interesting. I don't really, there are moments where this feeling just rises up and I go, I can't do it anymore, and I'm just gonna give up. Like I want to die to give up, just for a moment, and then it goes. This used to be a problem that I suffered, but this is a different kind of thing from that suicidal ideation that I used to have. Actually, it maybe is a deeper layer of it. I don't feel as threatened by it at all. Like it's not strong. Like I know it's not gonna win because the immediate thought that follows it is always, but that's such a waste. If you're gonna go out, at least go out big. So if I'm gonna go out big, I got some work to do. I would never go out big in the way of harming people, of course. I just would want to leave behind something that meant that all of the pain that I went through and then all of the answers that I found didn't just go to waste, I guess. I need to organize my information. I have it all here. Like I have piles, I have stuff on my laptops everywhere. I've got notes and notes and journals and files on my computer and a website somewhere out there that has some information. But all this stuff can help people change everything. And we're going to need to rebuild at some point here, and so it'd be good to rebuild with this information in mind, considering this could build a society that would sustain, that wouldn't collapse, with evolved consciousness and everything. We wouldn't disrespect our earth. We would work with her energy and give her the respect that she needs. And when we stop disrespecting her, she will balance. Remain balanced for us. So we just need to find that balance in ourselves, which we do have control over. And yes, it's can be overwhelming. I'm not sure if everyone else will find it as overwhelming, or if I'm experiencing some accelerated or intensified version of it, but I am deeply I don't like to put energy into this, but I'm just gonna do it for this moment, just to honor this in myself, because it's here and it wants to be. It's I'm so devastated to see what people do to each other. To see that people don't know that they're not alone. That people can feel alone with other people because there's a block, a division, no understanding. There was a forgotten, everybody forgot what they're made of, why we're here. That was the point for some, for many, and the agreement for all. But now we've gotten in and we've woken. And we just need to spread the virus, so this is spread by small steps, baby bites, one person at a time, quite literally. So, is intimacy required? I don't know. That was an energy surge. That's been happening to me quite regularly. I'm sleeping a lot. The last couple days, a lot of retrograde, I spent time with a new person and laid body to body with clothes on with him. And felt downloads happening between us. I was trying to feel a romantic connection for him, but I couldn't. So I'm left to believe that it wasn't meant to be romantic, but I think a friendship is potential, but we'll see. I might have offended him, but I didn't mean to. I was just really honest, and apparently my honesty had to point whatever out to him in his journey. I don't think that we should have to feel guilty about these things. I'm going to give myself permission not to feel guilty anymore. I'm not doing anything on purpose to anyone negative, but people do get offended by what I say and do. People think that I'm pretentious and that I think less of them because they're not doing what I'm doing and what I know about. Well, I don't think that they're less than because they're not doing what I'm doing and what I know about. The only reason I even love to tell people is because I know it'd be a lot easier for me if everybody else would be doing it too. At first it was like that. Now I'm starting to understand it's something that there's a cognitive dissonance that happens when you threaten somebody's reality. Fair enough. Who am I to threaten their reality? I'm just going to have to wait to be invited into people's reality and proceed with maintaining my own self in the knowledge and practice of what I know. The practice of the knowledge that I have is an ongoing practice for me. I'm not judging anybody who's not doing it. I know how hard it is. I know. I struggle. I make mistakes. I find out that I went unconscious and totally took a baby fit like I was an infant. I just move on and pick myself back up and go, oh yeah, alright, that was one of those things that it's not necessary and it's showing me something. And then I go, okay, well, what is it showing me? And I look at my behavior and what did I act like? What did I see? Is this a pattern? What did I feel like? When's the first time I felt this feeling? I can trace that back. And then when I trace it back to the first time I felt a feeling that is a pattern like that for me, where it's just like something I regret or don't feel good about, it's always traced back to a time or instance or experience in my life when I was not honored or something in some way. I myself had to either suppress a part of myself, or I wasn't given the space to experience the appropriate human emotion, or I was told that what emotion to feel and it was contrary to what I was feeling. For some reason I was traumatized in a place, and we all are, and PTSD is like, yeah, it can be very severe and loud, and that's where it's been labeled, but there's a very subtle form of it happening in the human body. It's how the humans function. That's what the human does. The way that PTSD, it's showing us how humans function. So anything repeating in our energy body is like that. So you have patience with yourself. You trace it back. Where did I first get this energy loop? And I've traced things back to childhood and fearful moments, or just times where I wasn't honored or seen, or, but they were always moments that I was able to find a resolution for and extract a piece of myself from the scene in so doing. So you go back to the memory, you find it out. Oh wow, I was really hurt that time somebody judged me and they thought I was trying to do something that I wasn't trying to do. And I was really hurt by that. And now I carry that with me in my life. This is just an example. I don't actually have one of these. So I may not feel passionate about this, what I'm saying, but I'm really just trying to show this person then could carry this through their life as something that gets poked in them often by a life partner or a friend, where they're being, or just life experience, or a boss or a coworker, or it gets louder and louder with this theme throughout life, even depending on how bad the wound is and how bad it wants to be seen and what else you have pressing as priority above it. But the pattern could be recognized as other people in your life always, making you feel that way. And all it is being brought to your attention as the feeling that is stuck in you, so that you can look at it another way. So you go back to the situation that originally happened and find the answer. Maybe it's the opposite of what you thought was happening. Get still with the moment. See how the opposite of what you thought is true. Can you name 3 ways that the opposite is also true? Can you find your compassion for the person who is doing you wrong in the scene? Can you understand why they might have acted that way and take yourself out of your own pain to see theirs for a moment? Can you just do anything you can to regain composure and control about that moment or situation, and then rescue yourself? Well, give yourself in that moment what you thought you would have needed, or could have needed, or should have needed, or can give yourself now, though. Simply by playing it out in your mind while in a very calm, meditative state. So we go back to the moment, and then we bring our adult self into the scene, or we bring our mother, someone we trust, to help us if we were helpless in the situation. Or we just bring understanding to it, or we say something that we wished that we had, or we take back something we wished we hadn't said. All of these things are tremendously healing, and then they will cause you to switch to a timeline where that never affected you that way. Your life starts to change. You won't even have that pattern in your life anymore. So you can see as you do these things, that's just one tiny example of one wound you can heal of many. Since we're in a downloadable state up to about the age of 7, from conception on, our energies are picking up everything from the environment and the experience. So we tried on some perspectives, and now we know some perspectives are more pleasant to experience than others. So we just focus on those. And then when something comes up that turns us in the other direction and we're not feeling so great, we turn it around. We rescue ourselves if it's a pattern that keeps existing. But if it's not a pattern, and it's just even just a thought, you don't even have to entertain it. It's not yours. Focus on what you do want. The only time you'll have to put any focus with these things is if it's become a pattern that's trying to get your attention. Otherwise, go along focusing on the great, the blessings, the gratitude that you have for everything. Look at your accomplishments, not your failures. Your failures are part of this. This is something we've been lied to about. Failure is a part of success. Success is built on failure. Every person who has succeeded has failed first, and might fail again after their first success. And it's trial and error sometimes. It's learning. It's taking the risk. It's all valuable. Alright, I babbled quite a bit, and I'm not sure if I kept it on topic. I do feel good. I feel there's definitely energies in me, but I'm going to go lay with them and get quiet with myself and see what I can find out. What do I want myself to know? Maybe just some rest. Alright, peace out.